Yo, what up guys? So today I'm going to be reacting to Iman Gadzhi video. Recently I've noticed that there's a trend of people making like exposed videos of some of these content creators. I think this big trend started with like CoffeeZilla, who's gained a lot of traction, calling out a lot of these online gurus as scams. And some of these people definitely are, but just because you sell an online course doesn't make you a scammer. So I'm going to take a look at one of these videos. As you can see, like there's just a lot of people trying to get traffic off of Iman's name because, you know, negative news travel faster, right? You can't just always trust these videos. They're trying to like traffic jack, right? So let's take a look at why I don't trust Iman Gadzhi anymore.
Iman Gadzhi, the internet millionaire, he's not who he says he is, and I don't blame him for what he has become. Even though I feel scammed by him, I do respect his hustle. Let's go find out what led to Iman becoming this internet scammer and selling people the dream of starting a social media marketing agency and making millions. Yes, I believe the whole social media marketing agency dream that Iman is selling is a lie. He never really made enough money to buy Rolex watches and moved to Dubai from starting an agency, so how did he make all this money then? Iman is the kind of kid whose worth depended on his accomplishments. Let us find out why he felt like.
You can definitely make really good money with social media marketing agency, and this is coming from a guy. We also, full disclaimer, have a course. We don't teach social media marketing agency. We teach local lead generation, ranking in Google. And in this video, I'm going to kind of talk about the difference between what Iman is teaching versus what we teach. But yeah, you can still make decent money with a social media marketing agency. You just got to know what you're doing.
Behind every evil genius, there lies a troubled childhood. Let us dive into Iman's childhood to find out.
I think it's a bit of a stretch to call him an evil genius. I've seen quite a few of his videos. He clearly is sharing some good business tips. Some of the social marketing agency strategies that he shows isn't going to get you to his level wealth that he portrays. But as a side hustle, especially doing SMMA to like local small businesses, as a side hustle, it can make you some money on a monthly basis, but it's not going to make you rich by any means.
What made him do this? Iman was a young and depressed kid who had a lot of issues at home. His mum was treated very badly by his stepdad, and Iman could not do anything about this. This led Iman to being a very introverted and strange kid at school. He was bullied in school and never mixed with his peers, and had zero friends. All he wanted to do was become an alpha male or feel powerful, and for him to feel like that at such a young age is...
That's a lot of great research by this guy. I never knew that about Iman.
Mainly because he felt suppressed by his stepdad and wanted to save his mum. All of this made him...
A lot of successful people that I've met, and myself included, went through a lot of adversity to have that drive.
I feel extremely inferior, and he wanted to do something about it. The first step he took was to fix his appearance. He started going to the gym regularly. Iman seemed to be happy with the progress he was making, and he then started recording his...
Yeah, I didn't know that. I found out recently that Iman has actually been after this like YouTube shit for a while. There's YouTube clips of him a long time ago making videos. That's what's cool about the internet, is like it shows the history of people.
Progress through his fitness phase and uploaded everything on YouTube. This move would lead Iman to make millions in the future, but he didn't know it as yet. As Iman continued his self-improvement journey, he began to read books on entrepreneurship and business.
I like how he keeps showing like Rolex as if that's the sign of ultra wealth. You can buy a Rolex building a successful like digital marketing agency.
Document everything on YouTube. One day, Iman decided to share his thoughts on an entrepreneurship book he read with his YouTube audience. And guess what? That video made about $50 for 23,000 views. This had never happened before to Iman. All of his other videos hardly made a few dollars, while this video made 50. He went back and checked the analytics to see what was different about this video, and he realized that the CPM was $35 for this video, while for the others it was less than $1. For those of you who don't know what CPM is, it's the amount YouTube advertisers pay YouTube for 1,000 views. The higher your CPM is, the higher will YouTube pay you for the views you get. So now Iman pivoted from making fitness videos to business videos. The upcoming online business at this time was the social media marketing agency craze. So Iman decided to make a video on that. This video was titled How to Gain 2,000 Followers in 2 Days. This video performed better than his other videos, and now Iman got a hold of what YouTube was promoting and made more videos related to social media marketing. He then posted a video called Closing Another $3,000 per month client vlog. The social media marketing videos Iman was posting were outperforming the rest of his videos. He then niched down and posted more videos on SMMA.
He's making it sound as if Iman, because YouTube does like certain niches, they'll pay more for advertisers, especially like if you're making videos about businesses. That's more lucrative of a niche because like B2B SaaS companies and course creators are going to start running ads on your video. So your video is now worth more to advertisers. I understand that, but how does he know that Iman wasn't actually like getting SMMA clients at the time as well?
SMMAs. This made him quite a bit of money at such a young age, since the CPM for this niche is quite high. You can see from the history of his videos that once he started posting business videos, he started making quite some money. He started traveling. He took his mum to Paris for her birthday, which is very sweet, and he was slowly accomplishing his dreams. Once he started making SMMA, or social media marketing agency videos, you can see that his content got a lot better. And I can say that's mainly because he was making a sufficient amount of money from his SMA videos to make better content. Iman had built a following, and people wanted to learn more about.
That's one thing I'll comment on, is that there's a lot of gurus out there. I find it funny. A lot of like influencers, they sell a course about SMMA, but you can see that their actual skill set that separates them in the marketplace is Iman's ability to make really engaging video content on YouTube. So shouldn't he actually be selling a course about building a YouTube channel and following? Because that seems to be his main skill set. If he was so good at doing SMMA, like running paid ads, how come Iman isn't running paid ads for his course? Much the same way like Andrew Tate, for example, right? Like he has Hustlers University and he has all these business models that he's teaching, but Andrew Tate never used dropshipping or Amazon FBA to get to the level of wealth where he's at. He first built that webcam business and he knew how to go viral with video content on places like TikTok, right? So like what they did to actually attain the level of success isn't reflected in the course that they're pitching, which is why some people think it's a scam, it's a hustle. So I get that perspective. Now compared to our program, people trust us because we actually sell a course about ranking in Google, and I have a blog, for example, that people find on a global level that I got rankings. So for example, if I type, is the lead generation business profitable? You'll see my website come up like pretty much at the top position, Ippei.com. And this is my blog, right? So when people find our blog, like I don't need to use YouTube to get traffic for our coaching program. Like I use my skill of ranking in Google, which is what we teach our students. We teach our students how to rank in Google for local small businesses. So our students can verify that the coaches that they're trying to learn from actually have the skill because they're finding me ranked in Google. So the problem with SMA is that Iman could say that he landed a $3,000 a month client, but there's no proof. It's hard to prove that was actually real or not. But I can't really blame Iman for not building his SMMA agency business that much, because he found that building his YouTube channel at that stage was already more lucrative use of his time. And here's what everybody needs to understand is like the rarer the skill that you have, the higher money you're going to be able to make per hour utilizing that skill set. So for Iman, he's already spent years grinding on YouTube and his channel was starting to catch traction and blow up. Like that skill to like be able to be a personality on YouTube and blow up a channel takes way longer. It's way more difficult of a skill to master than starting an SMMA agency. Therefore, Iman was going to make a lot more money focusing on YouTube and then just creating a course and then selling a course as one of the ways to monetize that traffic. Now, don't forget, Iman is also making a lot of money with AdSense, which is what YouTube pays him for all the views that he's getting. So for him, even if he had got SMMA clients, he wasn't going to continue to fully focus on that business because YouTube was the thing that was going to allow him to exercise the most difficult skill that he had in his possession that separates them from the competition, the marketplace. Much the same way, this is why I like local lead generation and ranking a website in Google as a way better business, because it's more difficult of a skill to master than running SMMA. Therefore, doing lead gen and ranking in Google, you get paid a lot more. I first started with local lead gen. I still recommend that for beginners, but then eventually I got that business up to 50K a month. And then I started a blog. Now I have a blog that costs millions of dollars to build. I spent 40 grand every month for content writers alone to be able to get global rankings. But that's the goal of an entrepreneur. You want to continually progress your skill set to a more difficult skill that not too many people can compete with. Andrew Tate, same thing. Like he has a way with his words. He has certain charisma on camera, which is a way more difficult of a skill for anybody to just copy and duplicate, which is why his way of getting to explosive success was utilizing that talent, that skill set that he has that not too many people have. So again, in business, you don't want to go for the skill set that everybody can easily master.
He wanted to be like Iman, so what did Iman do? He started selling his $2,000 course called Agency Incubator, and here is where he made tons of money. His ad was popping up everywhere on YouTube, and at this time the online course space was not as crowded as it is now. People trusted Iman and started buying his course. But his course is no different than his YouTube channel, and it's not worth $2,000. I was mad when I bought the course, as it was basically just an extended version of his YouTube videos, but I understood the guy. He was at a point where he had nothing to lose and had to make as much money for himself and his mum to survive.
That's a very subjective view, right? To say that I didn't think the course was worth the price tag, that's like an opinion, and some of his students might have loved the course, and he clearly has like testimonials of students that are making money because of his course.
And this made Iman turn into a ruthless man. He couldn't care less if his course is going to benefit you or not. He saw other people like Tai Lopez and Dan Lok doing it.
Yeah, I've never been a huge fan of Tai Lopez's course. I thought they were all very basic, but certain students still got results. Dan Lok, obviously people just equate him to like being a scammer because CoffeeZilla kind of destroyed him, but I got tons of value from Dan Lok from his sales course. So
he assumed it was easy to get away.
But Dan Lok did like super like high ticket stuff where he was like charging 20 grand, 30 grand from students that definitely shouldn't be spending that kind of money to do a mastermind with Dan Lok. So that's, I think, where Dan Lok got into a lot of trouble
with something like this. As soon as he started advertising his course, I realized that he started making more videos of his difficult childhood. This is a very popular sales technique to make yourself more relatable to your audience. Basically the perfect problem to solution sale.
Yeah, it's called marketing. That doesn't make Iman a bad person or a scammer though.
It was approach. The problem was his suppression, his mum being mistreated, and his financial issues. The solution was the agency. This story is very relatable to many young men who were desperate to save themselves, and
we want to do business with people that we relate with. We all have our stories of overcoming adversity, and as businesses go more towards like personal brand backed businesses and brands, like your personal story is going to be very important, and there's no good story without explaining the hardships that you went through
and their families. This approach made Iman mint millions. Iman started selling the dream to young kids like us. However, looking at Iman's recent videos, I can see that he's pivoting back to more general business topics and has stopped advertising his course as much. I hope this is because of the guilt he feels. I hope he stops scamming people because he's...
I think he still has his course out there. He's selling for $1,500, like his course. I think this person is making like too harsh of an assumption that his course is a scam. Like,
made enough money.
I just think some of the SMMA stuff is not a great tactic to create long-term wealth for yourself. SMMA is like really unstable. You really got to build it the right way.
You should think of a more legitimate business idea. Iman is now collaborating with many creators on YouTube to grow his YouTube channel. He has collaborated with YouTubers such as Hamza, Sneeko, and many others. This is helping him grow his audience. As you can see, as soon as he started collaborating with other creators, his average number of views per video skyrocketed.
Yeah, because when you collab with YouTube creators, you can get traffic from their name, which is the same thing you're doing. You're trying to get traffic from Iman's name. Like, you're doing the same thing.
He definitely makes most of his money from YouTube and selling courses. The agency probably made him a couple of thousand, but it's definitely not the reason behind his millions. And
yeah, that's one of the problem with a lot of the agency model is that you don't own any assets. So you're doing social media marketing for another company. 3-4 months down the road, if you're not producing the results that they expected, they can easily fire you. And it's really hard to quantify a lot of the social media marketing agency stuff because A, you're charging a company to manage their social media, and B, you're like running social media marketing ads for them and you're earning like a percentage of their ad spend. Both ways, it's really difficult to quantify what you're bringing to the table. If you're managing someone's social media marketing profile, even if you do a good job of curating good pictures and this, that, or the other, it's hard to quantify if your work actually produced like XYZ amount of revenue. Same with like ad spend, right? It's like you're only earning like 10 to 20% of ad spend. And so if the ad doesn't really produce well, if the client can't really close the deals that well, the client's hardly being profitable on the ads, it's like you're going to take the blame for it. And so you can easily get fired as a social media marketing agency. So it's really hard to scale that business. In business, if you want to actually scale, you want to own assets that nobody can take away from you, which is why like Iman's smart for creating a YouTube channel, because these videos he's creating are assets. It's point of leverage for him because these videos nobody can take away from, and these videos can go out there and continue to generate leads for his business, right? Much the same way, what I do is create digital assets in Google search engine. And this is what we teach our students. We build local lead gen sites that we own and control. So nobody can take those away. The small business owner has to keep paying us to continue to get our leads.
Due to the topics Iman covers on YouTube, he has an extremely high CPM. He averages about 8 million views on YouTube every month. And with his CPM, he's easily bringing in about 100 grand on YouTube every month. Starting a social media marketing agency is a good business model, but buying Iman's course is not going to help you get there. He doesn't know the skills you possess. There are different kinds of agencies. For instance, Instagram growth, Facebook marketing, or email marketing. There are so many. There's no way you can get all that information in a video course.
The problem with a lot of these courses is that they teach you way too many different skill sets and you just get lost in the weeds. Especially if you're a beginner, you need to focus on one thing and focus on that until you get that skill set to at least 5K a month, ideally 10K per month. And if you're doing like a social media marketing agency, Facebook ads, web design, SEO, like doing all these different things, like you're never gonna go anywhere because you're never gonna master a skill set. To really build a profitable SMMA business, you actually need to partner with a big brand, like an e-commerce brand that can scale to really big numbers. And the best way is to actually earn money based on performance. What I mean by that, so instead of charging for the ad spend, the problem with charging for a percentage of ad spend is that if that company is not being that profitable, they're going to start to blame you and they're going to have resentment towards you, because if they're profitable or not, like you're still making money because you're just a percentage of ad spend. So you actually made their ad spend more expensive. So that's going to make them resent you. The reason why it's better to do a percentage of the profit is now that all the interests are aligned. Now the business owner of that e-com brand or what have you know that you have their best interests at heart, because you're only earning a percentage if that company wins, because you're only earning a percentage of the net profit, which is the profit after the ad spend. This is what is going to create trust and long-term relationship. If you're running SMMA or running paid ads with social media, that's the model that you got to do. But the challenge is it's really difficult as a beginner to get these big brands to trust you and to work with you because you have no track record. Iman has a reputation on the internet because he has a YouTube channel, right? So he has clout. He can open the conversation with these big brands. But if you're a brand new beginner, it's very difficult to start these kind of conversations, which is why, in my opinion, local lead gen, what we teach, is way better for beginners, because we just simply build websites, generate leads coming in, and we just hand over leads to a small business owner and they pay us for the leads that we generate. We already got the results.
It's like you.
We don't have to depend on a client's credit card. We use our skill set to rank websites and then generate leads that way.
I've tried out many online businesses. Some have worked and some haven't. But from all my experiences, I've learned
all those online businesses are very difficult and unstable for a beginner. Like affiliate marketing is way too saturated for a beginner. Amazon FBA, it costs 10 to 15 grand, and that's a pretty big risk considering how competitive Amazon is at this point. It's very difficult to crack into page one, and you still have to invest in all this inventory. So if you're a beginner and you don't have 20 grand to just throw away to test a product, then Amazon FBA is really difficult. Dropshipping is too risky because you're having to spend money up front to run paid traffic over a product, earning minimal margins. You might break even, you might lose a lot of money on the ad. Info products, as a beginner, you don't have expertise or any skill set to create a course. So that's not going to be really viable for most beginner.
one thing for sure. Never buy an online course from a make money online guru. Look for more legitimate guys. In the social media marketing space, the most legitimate guy I found is Russell Brunson.
I don't think Russell Brunson is a person that you want to go to learn about social media marketing agency. He doesn't know anything about creating a successful agency today. All this guy has is the ClickFunnels software. So he's actually running paid ads to a software expert, not running an agency and having clients. So that's definitely not the right choice. The fact that you would even recommend Russell Brunson kind of makes your point about Iman's course being a scam way less valid. I mean, Russell Brunson's a great marketer. I would go to him to learn about marketing, not about running an agency.
Don't fall for the fake gurus. I know it's quite tricky to spot the fakes, but yeah, just do proper research. Subscribe to hear about all my...
How do you do proper research? Like, it's very difficult to do proper research. I think what most people are going by is seeing what kind of dope content this person creates on YouTube. And if he creates like dope enough content with good editing, they come across trustworthy. And I think that's the research that people are doing, right? But the problem is like you can fake all of that with like good editors.
Experiences. and I'll also be making business documentaries soon. That brings us to the end of the video. Stay undefeated.
It should ideally be visible that the coach is actually doing the things that he's supposedly coaching in his course, and he's doing it today. What's working today? I heard that Iman was running some paid ads a few years ago, but I have never seen it. And today, I don't think he's ever running paid ads. I'm gonna react just a little bit to his popular start a social media marketing agency from scratch in 2023 video. This video has like 360,000 views. So I'm gonna go to the most important bits, and then I'm gonna see if I can fill some holes in some of the things that he's saying.
Because I've said this before and I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. An agency without clients is like a plane without a propeller. So here I've listed some of the most common ways of finding clients. Now, if you're working with local businesses, a great place to start is actually Google Maps. So type in restaurants in your local area as an example and start collecting names and phone numbers. Or if you're looking to service e-commerce businesses, look on Amazon or Google Shopping and find a list of brands you can reach out to. So I'll give you a couple examples of finding clients right now. Step 1 is to use Google Maps. So if you're offering Facebook adverts to Botox clinics, start in your local area and make a list of at least 10 clinics. Another method is to look at an online directory like Amazon and search for the product you want to sell. Let's look at this example with smartwatches. Interestingly, there's a brand called Let's Fit who are promoting their products on Amazon to get more sales. Let's go with them. The next step is to find someone who owns the business or anyone responsible for their sales or marketing. So LinkedIn is actually a great tool for this. Find the name of the person you want to speak to and start researching to find their email. And if you can't find their email, then you can just take a wild swing in the top, their last name at whatever their business name is, or for example, their first name.
This is where it gets the biggest problem that I have with running a SMMA agency is that as a beginner, you have no reputation on the internet. Nobody knows who you are. You can't even Google your name and find out who you are. So why would a big e-commerce brand trust you to run their digital marketing? Even if you target like a local business or a restaurant, like you're gonna have to reach out to so many people, face so much rejection. Most people are not gonna be interested. You're just another person that's emailing them. Like I get emails all the time of like social media marketing agencies and I just like flat out ignore them. This is not the best way to start an agency as a beginner because you're completely dependent on other people to give you their time of day, other people to trust you, other people to give you their credit card. The reason why I like what I do, which is local lead gen, which we spend our time first to create value in the marketplace so that other business owners want to talk to us. So for example, like we rank a website in Google. If I Google tree service, Grand Rapids, Michigan, you'll see that this is my tree care site that comes up at the top position. Now I spent the time to build this site and rank it because I learned the skill sets. Now this site is generating leads every day and I'm forwarding it to a local business owner in Grand Rapids. So I initially sent them a bunch of free leads and I helped them make money first. And every time they pick up the phone, this track your phone number attaches my name to it. So it'll say this lead was sent to you by Ippei before the customer starts talking. So therefore the client was already interested in speaking with me. I didn't have to reach out to hundreds of different business owners, begging them for their time, offering a service and getting ignored and rejected. I just spent all that time that could have been wasted on prospecting. I just built my website, ranked it, created the value first, and now I have business owners reaching out to me and they want my leads. So that's the better approach in business just in general. You want to make yourself valuable first in the marketplace, whether that be learning a skill or what Iman has done, which is like he took the time to film and produce all those YouTube video content to the point where his content is really good now, but it wasn't so good in the beginning, right? But he spent the time to learn all the skills of producing good content, digital assets in form of video on the internet. I spent my time building sites like this and ranking it. I made myself valuable in the marketplace. Now these sites are generating leads. Now it's really easy to close a business owner. It's important to have that mindset of not be so desperate for the money, because it's not really about the money. You have to learn skills, high income skills that not too many people know. That's gonna make you valuable in the marketplace so that very naturally people are gonna want to work with you. There's nothing wrong with like fast money, like going out there and getting money from clients, but that shouldn't be the primary focus. That's more about getting cash flow, getting money coming in so that you can reinvest it into creating digital assets, either websites or video content, because that's evergreen. That's a piece of media and code that nobody can take away from you. That'll allow you to earn residual income months and years into the future. With social media marketing, even if you do get a client, if you let that client down after a few months, he might just let you go and cut you loose. And now you have to start over from scratch. This is why a lot of people struggle with sustainability with SMMA. This is why I believe a lot of people do SMA for a little while and then they go to something else. They start a YouTube channel or they start selling a course. Now, SMMA is, to me, only sustainable when you go after the huge companies, and the huge companies can trust you to run their whole digital marketing side of their business, and you earn either equity in that company or they're paying you based on net profit performance. Then like running SMMA can be sustainable. But again, like I said, you need a big reputation to even have those big companies be interested in working with you. The beautiful thing about owning your own assets is like you're creating long-term stability for your business and for your life. Let's just say my client decided to not pay me or he decided to retire. I can easily just forward this phone number to a different tree care company in Grand Rapids and I can continue to get paid again. I don't have to start over from scratch. Same with my blog, right? This is a blog that I own. I have like over 800 pages. Nobody's taking away this blog from me. Nobody can fire me, right? The problem with a lot of SMMA is like the client can still fire you anytime and your income that you was making from that client just goes to zero overnight. See, that I don't like that. I like owning my own assets. Iman's doing the same thing. Like all these videos that he's creating are assets that he owns and control. Like Iman doesn't have somebody that can take away all those video assets from him, right? So you have to always keep that in mind when you're starting an online business. I highly recommend like looking into this local lead gen model because it's so simple to create these sites and rank them in Google. And that way, any of these sites make anywhere from $500 to $2,000 a month. You're stacking assets that are gonna stay with you long term, that are gonna continue to pay you. The YouTube route is a grind and you do have to be good on camera, and there's a lot of different other elements to be good at YouTube. You need high level video editors today, and in the beginning you might not have a budget for that. There's so much more competition on YouTube, whereas with local lead gen, there's way less competition. Like in Grand Rapids, there's 20 tree care companies that I have to beat. And it's not like YouTube where you're dealing with thousands of other content creators. So that's the main difference between SMA and local lead gen. I think Iman still teaches some good things in his videos, but SMMA for most people is not going to work in terms of getting you to a very crazy lifestyle that like Iman is living. If you spend the time to build your personal brand, which is going to take a couple years, then you can work with big companies, then you can get to that level with SMMA, but it's going to be a long drawn out process. Click on the link in the description and you can find out more info about this local lead gen business and our coaching program.